Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're customizing the Pfister Comet S2 in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now this thing is on sale this week, so I figured I would customize it for you guys. I haven't customized the S2 in quite some time, so of course we're going to start off with the armor all the way up, the brakes as well. For the bumpers, we do have quite a few options. Now the thing is, with the Pfister Comet S2, it is a very cool car because you can make several different sort of variations of the 911 with this car. And my last variation that I went for was like the GT3, but I think that I kind of want to go for almost like a Turbo S build with this thing in this customization. So I think we're going to go for the tuner bumper to start it off with. For the rear bumper, we have quite a few options. We can obviously remove like the whole rear bumper, which is pretty cool. And there's just so much you can do with this thing. I think for the rear bumper, what I'm going to do is go for the secondary rear diffuser. I like that look, so we'll go for that. For the engine, we are going to go all the way up on that. For the exhaust, we do have a couple different options here. We've also got these turbo exhausts, which are pretty cool. They actually add turbos in behind the rear bumper here. Unfortunately, we can't see it because I've already put the bumper on. But I think we will go for the turbo exhausts. Let's go for the turbo exhausts, not the turbo exhausts 2. So we got those. Now we can add these front fender vents if we want to, and we can also add over fenders on the rear. We're actually going to leave that alone completely on this car, so we're not going to do that at all. Now there are these fog lights that you can put on. No. Headlight covers, obviously we can do some stuff here as well. We're actually just going to leave these alone completely as well, so we'll leave those. For the hood, we can add some hood catches to this thing. I don't really like the look of them though, so I'm going to leave them off. For the actual hood itself, we do have quite a few options here, of course, so we're going to go through these, and we're going to pick one that we like, obviously. And I think that, there's not really any that like I really like. The SR spec hood is kind of cool. The vented hood is also kind of cool, but I don't really love the look of it overall, so I think I'm actually just going to go with the stock hood. Now for the interior, we can of course add a carbon dash. We can strip out the interior fully if we want to with this thing as well. We're going to go for the carbon dash. I want to leave this thing with a street interior, so that means we're going to leave the doors alone as well. For the seats, we can change these up a little bit. I'm not a super huge fan of the stock seats. I do kind of like the carbon track seats though, so we will go for those. For the steering wheel, I always go for the Rally Clubman, so we'll go for that on this car as well. And for the roll cage, we're going to leave that out of the car. Next up, we have the headlights. We are going to go xenon on those for sure. For the livery, now we do have a few options that we can go for, obviously. Like I said, this is not really going to be a GT3 car, so we're not going to go too crazy with it, I don't think. I don't even think we're even going to put on a livery, although some of these liveries do look absolutely fantastic. Like the retro redwood, that looks amazing. I really like that. We're going to leave it off though. For the plate holder, we can completely remove the front plate, which of course we are going to do, and then we can change the back plate to yellow on black as always. For the color of this vehicle, now this is where things are going to get kind of interesting because there are a lot of colors that look really good on this car. However, I kind of want to go for something a little bit weird. I want to do something different today. I don't exactly know what that is going to entail. I don't know what color that is going to be. Now, I was looking at Adam LZ's videos recently, and he has a purple 911 GT3, which I was almost thinking like maybe we should go for a purple. It does look kind of interesting. However, I don't know that I'm a huge fan of it. I don't know that I can actually like rock out with that color. Cream does look really good as well though, so we could go for a cream. I'm almost thinking of a green though as well. I know I have been doing quite a lot of olive green recently, which I know it's not for everybody. Bright green also looks pretty sweet. Could of course go for the crew color as well, but we're not going to do that. Let's see. You know what? I almost like the cream. I think that we're gonna go. I don't know if I can do that. Maybe we should go for a brown of some sort, like a straw brown. No, that looks horrible. Never mind. Bleached brown though doesn't look too bad, but I think I'd rather just go for cream at that point. So we're just gonna go for cream. I know that was a lot. We're gonna go for cream. That's the color I've chosen. Now for the secondary color, we can change that up. I think I'm going to go for a metallic black because I did do that secondary option there for the rear bumper. So we'll keep that as black because we'll go for like a black and cream sort of theme. For the pearlescent though on this, we gotta take a look here and see what we can do. I kind of want to go for something that's a little bit understated. Maybe we should go for like a little red tinge on the cream. I don't know, that probably wouldn't look very great. Let's see, maybe a bronze on the cream. Let's go for that. I kind of like that. It's very subtle, but you can sort of see it. Now for the interior trim color, I want to go for a red, but I'm going to go for a pretty subtle red. I think we're going to go for probably grace red. Let's go for grace red. Yeah, that's nice. You can barely tell it's red. At least I can barely tell, colorblind. And then for the gauge cluster, let's see. I kind of want to go for a blue. I like going ultra blue with my gauges. I think it looks pretty good, so we'll do that. For the roof, we can add some stuff to this car. Now this is what I was thinking of as well. Adam LZ used to have a 911 Turbo S and he had a roof rack for it and it looked really, really cool. So I'm almost thinking of going for that with this thing. I think we're going to go for the carbon era roof box, or maybe we should go primary on it. Yeah, no, let's go primary. Let's go primary on that. For the roof, we're also going to go for a carbon roof, just because it's going to make the car look a little cooler, I think. For the side skirts, I definitely want to go for like a carbon option of some sort here if we can find one that looks really good. Let's see. Kind of like having some detail with it. Let's go for the carbon performance skirts. I like those. Look pretty good. For these splitters, now we can add a splitter to this thing, of course. You can go absolutely insane with it. We're gonna go for the carbon splitter just because it's pretty subtle. It's nothing, you know, too crazy, so we'll go for that one. For the spoiler, so we can change this to a carbon deck lid, of course. Wingless deck lid as well. Can also go for a high ducktail, which does look really good in my opinion. Then of course we also have the Backdate Decklid. Now this makes the car sort of an older style 911. I do really like that. So we also have the retro SR wing. That is also really cool. I think that what I want to go for though, I mean there's some crazy options here as you guys can see. There's the SR Mega Wing that looks absolutely stupid in my opinion, but I think that I want to go for the Backdate Decklid. I don't know if I want to go for carbon though. Yeah, no I don't. Let's go for the Backdate Decklid. That looks pretty cool in my opinion. Next up we have sun strips. Of course we can add those. I'm not going to go for it though. For the suspension on this car, now I actually don't want to lower this thing down all the way. We're going to go street suspension on this thing. So we'll do that. Transmission all the way up, of course the turbo as well. For the wheels, let's see, what do we want to go for here? I think definitely street category. Definitely something with pretty low profile rims. I do like the Mercy concave on this car. I think those look fantastic. Got the concave Mega Mesh, of course my favorite rim in the entire game. Not a super huge fan of them on this car, surprisingly. I think we're gonna go for the Mercy concaves though. I think they're just like the best looking rim on this car that I can find so far. For the color on these, I think I am gonna be kind of boring and go for a black unless like stone silver really catches my eye, or maybe a bronze, but I don't know about bronze and cream. I don't know if that's a thing that can really be done. Not a super huge fan of it, so we're gonna go black on the wheels. Let's go bulletproof tires as well for sure, and wind deflectors, we can add those to the car as well. You know what, I actually really don't like the look of them a lot of the time, but on this car they almost fit. However, not well enough for me to want them, so we're just not going to go for those. We are going to tint the windows all the way out. I am a fan of how this thing is looking. Now, of course, I just remembered that when you tint this car, for some reason the headlights get tinted as well. That is a huge piss off. I completely forgot about that. Okay, we're going to go Limo Tint. Now, if we go back up to the headlight covers, can we... Okay. Oh, we can actually get rid of that by going with a different headlight cover. So I guess we'll go iridescent because there's no other way to get rid of it. So we'll go for that. Let's take this thing outside. It's time to do a sound test and a full review on the car. Let's see how this thing sounds. It sounds pretty good. I mean, it sounds like a Comet. Doesn't sound like crazy good or anything, but it's, you know, it's decent. I've got to say I am super happy with this customization. I kind of wish that I lowered the car a little bit more. It is sitting a little bit high. I did that in the hopes of maybe changing how this car handles, because if you've seen a lot of my videos, you'll know that I don't particularly love the Comet S2 because of its handling ability. I absolutely love the car in a general sense. However, the handling ability of this car, I don't know what it is, but I find it extremely hard to drive. Now, it could be the fact that I'm on PC, but I have driven a Comet S2 Cabrio on console, and I still was not a super big fan of it. So we'll just have to see how it does. But what I can say is that I love how this car looks. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm super happy with the customization. That's the thing with the Comet S2 for me, is I love how it looks. No matter how you customize a Comet S2, I feel like it always looks good, and that's because it's based on a 911, and I think 911s are fantastic looking cars in real life. I'm a super huge fan of them. I really want to get one, to be honest, but I'm not quite at that echelon of YouTuber yet. So we're working on it though. Now I have to say, because I did raise the suspension, I was hoping for a difference in the handling, and it does feel a little more manageable than it used to be. However, it still is not handling the way that I would like it to. It still is kind of spinning out in the back end of the car. It just doesn't handle as well as I really wish that it did. I'm a huge fan of the Comets in GTA, but other than the Comet SR, I have yet to find a Comet that I actually like the handling of. The SR is the one exception to that, and the SR, I don't know, that car has very good handling, and I was hoping that the S2 would be the same way, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it is so far. So, you know, unless I'm doing something really wrong with the overall like upgrades and everything like that, I am pretty disappointed with the overall handling of this car. But you know what, it's not as bad as I remembered. Maybe that's because the last time I really drove one of these a lot was before the nerf that came with the contract DLC, so it could be something to do with that. As far as the Comet S2 goes though, other than the handling and the customization, it does have very good acceleration, has a pretty high top speed even to this day, especially with low grip tires and when the car is also stanced. Both of those things do you know, help to increase the car's top speed and its overall like acceleration ability, I guess. Even post contract DLC nerf, I do think that this thing still has a relatively good top speed. I actually feel like it's improved since the contract DLC nerf, maybe because it's down on power a little bit more or something like that, but I don't know, it's such an interesting car, and it's such a man, it's such a great car. I love this thing, but I just cannot get over the handling. The handling is it's just not what I would hope for from it, that's all, really. Anyway guys, I think that's pretty much it for the Pfister Comet S2 customization and review. I have to say, if you want this thing, get it while it's on sale. I can't honestly say that I recommend it for doing any sort of racing. It's not going to win you any races in the sports category. It's probably not going to win you any tuners races even. So as far as racing goes, the Comet S2 is kind of a write-off. However, it is a very cool car in my opinion. It does look awesome with all the customization you can do. I mean, I can't hate on the car too much. I do really like it. I just wish that it had a little bit better handling, but that's about it. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed the video, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new. Comment down below, let me know any other cars that you want to see me customize this week, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.